Hi guys, and welcome to World of Tanks Review. I'm Buddy1927, and today I'm actually reviewing the StuG 3 Ausf.B tank destroyer in the German line, which is a tier 4 tank destroyer in the German line. This is a pretty fun tank. I've enjoyed playing both the B and G, which is the tier 5 tank, and I love playing them. One of the advantages of this tank is it has a nice low profile and it's very maneuverable. So that's one of the reasons why I like playing it. One of the drawbacks about this thing, it is very maneuverable. It gets me into a lot of trouble and I die quickly. So because sometimes I get ahead of myself, and hey, that's just me. But overall, I enjoy playing this tank. It's a good money maker tank for me. I make a lot of money off of this tank and I enjoy playing it. Let's take a look at the tech tree and we'll show you how to get there. You start off with the lawn tractor. You go to the Panzerjäger 1, to the Marauder 2, to the Marauder 38T, and you end up here at the StuG 3B. You go to the StuG 3G, and eventually you end up with the J-Tiger E100. And as you can see, I'm also going down the turreted line to the WT E100, and I only have 146,000 research points to go. So you actually have in the tank destroyer line, you have 3 tier 4 tanks to choose from. I prefer the StuG 3B over the Hetzer. I've had the Hetzer and I've actually played the Hetzer. And you also got the Marauder 38T. I actually enjoy this better than I do the Hetzer. That's just my preference. I'm not saying it's better than the Hetzer. And the Hetzer can do some damage, so can the StuG. But that's just me. Let's take a look at how it comes. Once you get everything researched, you get up to 4 different guns to choose from. I'm currently using the 7.5, and I'll go over the 7.5 and the 10.5 a little later in this video. Top tier radio you get is a tier 6 radio, tier 5 engine, tier 4 engine, tier 4 set of tracks. So that's not bad. Let's get in position and let me blow this up for you all, and let's go over the specs on this tank. It has 260 hit points. Not bad, not good. It's not the best for tier 4, but it can be a little bit better. Engine horsepower on this is 440. Top speed on this is 40 kilometers per hour, which is actually pretty good. Traverse speed on this is 40 degrees per second, which is actually pretty good. Now, it does have some armor in the front. Not much, but it does have some at 50 millimeters in the front and 30 millimeters on the front, on the sides and the rear. So you really got to protect your sides and rears on this thing. We'll go over the gun a little bit later. Traverse speed of the gun is 44 degrees per second. Base view range on this is 310. Base signal range on this is 415. So that's not too bad. It's not too good, but that's the average things on it. Now, I'm going to start off talking about the 7.5 gun. And one thing I definitely want to make sure is perfectly clear, because I will get all kinds of grief on World of Tanks forum. I'm not saying the 7.5 is better than the 10.5. I'm not saying the 10.5 is better than the 7.5. I'm saying it's your choice to pick what gun fits you. This gun, the 7.5 for pub matches, fits me pretty good. Okay? And I enjoy playing it. And I'll explain to you why. But let's go over the 7.5 separately. 7.5 pack 39L48 is a 75 caliber gun. Rate of fire on this is 15.38 rounds per minute. So that leaves a reload time of 3.9 seconds. So it has a quick reload on this gun. Average penetration on this gun is 110, 158, and 38, which is pretty decent for a tier 4 tank. Average damage? Yes, it does average damage. 110, 110, and 175. Yeah, that's not bad. Accuracy on this gun is 0.36 at 100 meters, which makes it pretty damn accurate. At 100 meters, this is a very accurate gun. Aiming time on this is actually pretty good at 1.7 seconds. So that's pretty good. It carries AP, APCR, and HE rounds. So that's not too bad. Let me close this gun and I'll pull up the 10.5. Okay, now the 10.5 StuH 42L28. It's a 105 caliber gun. Rate of fire on this is 6.7 seconds rounds per minute. 6.7 rounds per minute. It not fast. Doesn't reload fast. Average penetration 64, 104, 53. Lousy penetration. Damage 350, 350, and 410. Does great damage, which is good for a big gun. Accuracy on this thing sucks. 0.55 at 100 meters, which means where you aim doesn't mean that's where the shell's going to go. I've aimed dead center of a tank that was sitting still and went far left and far right and never hit. I fired 2 shots, and one went left of the tank and the other one went right of the tank. The gun is not accurate, so you got to take that in consideration with this gun. Aiming time on this is actually pretty good at 2 seconds. Now, the rounds that this gun carries is AP and HEAT, which is high explosive anti-tank rounds, and it also carries high explosive or HE rounds. So that's not bad at all. Now let's pull both guns up. I don't know why I closed it, but let's pull both guns up and compare them side by side. So we got the 10 and the 7.5. Rate of fire on the 10.5 is 6.67 rounds per minute compared to 15.38. So about 2.5 more rounds per minute with the 7.5 compared to the 10.5. So I can fire more rounds per minute. Average pen on this on the 10.5, 64, 104, and 53. The 7.5 is 110, 158, and 38. So I actually have a better pen rate with the 7.5 than I do with the 10.5. Now the damage. Again, 10.5, 350, 350, and 410, which is a lot of damage for one round, compared to the 110, 110, and 175. Yes, this gun does more damage per shell than the 7.5. Yes, you're right. It does do more damage. But the 7.5 does more damage per minute than the 10.5 round does. So you got to take that in consideration. Are you a one-shot wonder or are you a multi-shot wonder in the same time frame? Which depending on your play style, if you want to be the one-shot wonder, the 10.5 is the one. Yes, it's the derp gun. Okay? But you better be brawling with this thing, because let's take a look at the accuracy of this gun. At 0.5 compared at 100 meters compared to 0.36 at 100 meters. At the 10.5, it does mean where you shoot, where you aim is where the shell is going to go. The 7.5 means where you aim is where the shell is going to go. Big difference in guns. This gun is not accurate. This gun is very accurate. So that's another thing you want to take in consideration is how you're going to be playing. If you're brawling, this is the gun you want, the 10.5. Of course, you better shoot and then go run and hide until you're reloaded. Or you can do multiple bursts. You can do 2.5 rounds into the same tank that you're brawling with the 7.5 than you do with the 10.5. So that's up to you. Now, they both take AP and HE. You get APCR on the 7.5, and you got high explosive anti-tank or heat rounds in the 10.5. So it depends on your playstyle and how you want to play. So those are the guns comparable. I'm now in tournaments. I have used the 10.5. It depends on the makeup of the tank and the map that I'm going on to. In pug matches, you cannot rely on your teammates. I can tell you that right now. You cannot rely on your teammates in a pug match. Period. End of conversation. You can have a group. I've been in a group where I had nothing but purple and blues with me. I'm a red guy. Okay, my stats suck. I don't care. I admit it. My win rate sucks. But I got a good hit ratio. I do a lot of damage. I just can't win battles because most of my games are done in pug matches. So I don't really care about a win rate. Screw them. A matchmaker screws me all the time. So I don't care. But I've been in pug matches where I've had five purples, 5 blues, a couple yellows, and I was the only red guy. And we lost, and I did top damage. I've been in pug matches where I had nothing but orange, red, and white players, and the other team had purple and blue players, and we kicked their butts. So it doesn't matter what the person's win rate is. It's basically how they play their tanks. I'm not an expert at World Tanks, and I never claimed to be an expert at World Tanks. I'm an average player. Period. That's it, guys. I'm an average player. I never said I was a great player. But I try to play my tank as much as possible. I try to get as much information about my tanks as I possibly can. So, screw the win rates. I'm going to tell you that right now. But everybody plays their tanks differently. In a pug match situation, you cannot rely on your teammates. You won't know until you get into battle what map you're going to be on. So the 7.5 gun is the best gun to use, in my opinion. It might not be in your opinion. You can go ahead with a 10.5. But overall, the way I think, the way I'm looking at it, the 7.5 is the overall better gun in the situations. Now, if I'm going to tournaments where I get teammates I can rely on, I know what map we're going to end up being on, and depending on the type of map I'm going on, I might be better off with the 10.5, depending on how the tank mix-up that we have on my team and the map that we're on. Now, if I'm going to be sniping, no, I'm not going to be using the 10.5. I'm going to be using the 7.5 in the tournament. If I'm going to be a little closer up to battle, then yes, I want to go ahead and use the 10.5. But when we set up tournament teams, we know what the teams are going to end up doing, what each tank's roles are going to be. So depending on the role of my tank in that tournament is whether or not which gun I'm going to bring, the 10.5 or the 7.5. I've won gold with the 10.5. I've lost with the 10.5. I won gold with the 7.5, and I've lost using the 7.5 in the tournament. But it all depends on your role that you're going to end up playing in a tournament. So yes, I've used both guns in a pug match, and that's what I mainly play in is pug matches. I use the 7.5 gun because it does more damage per minute. It's a lot more accurate, and it's just the way I play. Pick the gun that you want. I'm not telling you which gun to pick. I'm just telling you the gun that I use. You can use the 10.5 or you can use the 7.5. It's up to you. Okay? So don't flood the World of Tanks forum saying that I don't know what I'm talking about and all that. I never said which gun for you to use. I said pick the gun that you want. I prefer the 7.5 in a pug match. That's just my play style. If your play style is different, then use the 10.5. Hell, you can use the other 7.5, the 40L43 or the 7.5 L24. It's up to you. I don't really give a damn. So, the mods I use on this tank is gun rammer, vents, and I use binocs. The other one you could possibly use is a camouflage net or coated optics. I just prefer the binocs over that. Now there's one thing I definitely want to go over real quick with you all, and I'm going to prove to you. I'm going to show you from the World of Tanks Wikipedia, and as you can see, I'm on World of Tanks Wikipedia Wargaming Net Wiki. This is the StuG 3B. This is the pros and the cons. Okay, excellent maneuverability and acceleration. Gun can be one-shotted for tier 3s and can do serious damage to tier 5s and 6. 3.10 view range, though not terrific, is far better than the Hetzer at 2.6 millimeters. Above average armor for its tier, frontal armor being 50 millimeters. Keep in mind that this armor should not be relied on. Many modules can be used for the StuG 3. Cons: poor average gun depression. Although it has the same gun on the Hetzer, many of the soft stats of the 10.5C, the ROF, accuracy, and aim time, are inferior to the Hetzer. So if you have the Hetzer and you think that the 10.5 gun is good for the StuG, it's not. It's inferior to this on the StuG, but it's the same gun. Don't ask me why. This is the way World of Tanks come. If coming from the Marauder 38T, the stock grind will become horrific. Yes, it does take a long time to go through your thing. Gun traverse arc is not as good as the Marauder 38T. Low hit points for a tier 4. And they suggest vents, gun rammer, camouflage net, and binocs for your equipment. So that's from World of Tanks Wikipedia, from Wargaming Wikipedia. So I'm not making this stuff up. It's what Wargaming is saying to use. So that's another thing. That's where I get my information on what mods to use for this gun. Is go to World of Tanks Wikipedia and take a look at the gun. They do suggested equipment. That's where I get my information. It's from Wargaming themselves. So if you say my information is wrong, you're saying Wargaming is wrong. So I'd like to thank you for telling me that Wargaming is wrong. So that's the review of this tank. I do have this tank in action, so let's take a look at the clip. I'll see you all on the other side. Hi guys, and welcome to World of Tanks Replay. I'm Buddy1927, and today I'm in my StuG 3B, which is a tier 4 tank destroyer in the German line. The map we're on is Sand Rivers, and as you can see, pretty good teams. Actually, I think we got the advantage in the way of battle matching. I'll speed things up till we get some action going here. I'm trying to go up the A line, then go down the 9-0 line. Okay. Back to normal speed. One thing I like about the StuG is that it actually has a low profile. So that's one good thing I like about it. We got tank spotted. Let's see how accurate this gun is. That's how accurate that gun is. Now, I have received 4 hits and a total of 96 hit points taken off. But this tank is actually pretty maneuverable. I got another tank there. Two shots, 1 kill. So I got my first kill. Still have the other tank. He didn't come around far enough. There he is. You can see how accurate that gun is. That's one thing I like about both the B and G. The guns are actually pretty good, pretty accurate on these things. And these are actually pretty fast tanks. Very maneuverable and get you where you need to be. Score's 11-2, so yeah, it's definitely one-sided here. Shot and miss. Hit him. And kill number 3. This gun also loads pretty fast too. That's another thing I like about this. Is the gun's accurate, loads fast. 3.5 second reload. Not bad. Took a blind shot and got the kill with the blind shot. That's kill number 4. And I think by the time I get to the other tanks, they're going to be dead anyway. Surround and drown. He's taken out. Got 1 tank left. He's over there and he's gone. That is definitely a win. That definitely was a victory overall. Not too bad. Got tanker second class. Yay. I got fighter. I got battle buddy. Yay. And fire and so on. I hit 4 tanks, damaged 4 tanks, killed 4 tanks, so that's pretty good. Not bad. I fired a total of 8 times with 7 direct hits for an 87.50 hit ratio, so that's pretty good. So that's not bad. The tank did its job. I did my job. I took out 4 guns. I spotted 2 of the 4 that I took out. Not bad. I did some damage. I took out some mods, so it's not bad overall. The StuG-3B, it is a tier 4 tank destroyer in the German line. I enjoy playing this thing. I like going into these battles and actually being able to do some stuff. The only drawback behind the StuG, it can take some hits if you have it angled right, but if you don't, you can die very quickly. And I found that out the hard way. But overall, it's a good tank. I have played this tank in several tournaments, and I enjoy playing this. Some of the tournaments we won, some of them we've lost, but overall it's still a good tank. I enjoy playing it. So if you get a chance, like this video on YouTube. If you have any comments about this video, please leave your comments down below on my YouTube page. And if you haven't done yet, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That way you know when the latest videos I do come out. I'd like to thank you again for watching this, and do me a favor, save some tanks on the battlefield for me. You all have a good day.